Okay, so after all the trimming and cutting, the inside of our astronomy box is going to be exactly 12 inches. And I have left a 1/4 of an inch on each side for the groove, and the groove is a 1/4 inch deep. So that means I have a maximum of 12.5 inches to work with. I would like to leave at least 1/8 of an inch for wiggle room for things to expand and contract and not put tension on the base. So our base needs to be 12.25 to 12 3/8 inches square. All right, let's get to going on that. All right. Okay, we have here a piece of recovered plywood. It was a backing on a piece of dead furniture that I found on the side of the road. Took it home, salvaged much of the wood of it I could, including this piece of plywood. So we're going to cut our 12 by 12 bit out of this plywood, out of that corner over there. So let's set this down and see how that's going to work. As usual with everything I do, you got to measure precisely. We want 12.25 to 12 3/8. So we'll make our mark at 12.25 exactly. We'll do 2 marks. 12.25 and 12.25 and 12.25. Okay, now we need to join those marks. So we grab we only need an 18-inch ruler, but I've got my yardstick very handy because I was just using it for another project, so we'll use it. So we line it up exactly so that our pencil is going right through the V of our mark as usual, and we scribe a line all the way across. 12.25. Same here. Line it up so that our pencil mark is going right through the tip of the V in both places. Double check it. All good. And scribe a mark. Okay, now we want to cut on the outside of those marks. Don't cut that mark. If we leave that mark all round, then we should have at least 12.25, if not a little more. And that gives us a bit of wiggle room to play with on top of the mark. Okay, let me just grab a saw. Okay, we're going to begin with the mark this direction. We're going to use our 10 TPI, and this is a razor saw. 10 TPI cross cut. We could use rip because the wood fibers in plywood run both directions, and rip is perfectly fine, but cross cut will leave a slightly better finish. So we're going to try with the cross cut first and see how it works with this particular plywood. Some plywoods have a lot of, the inner layers are made up of all kinds of messed up material rather than a full sheet of veneer. If that's the case, then the crosscut saw might do too much ripping and binding of the fibers if their fibers are running in all different directions and are not very good quality. But we'll find out once we start to cut. Okay, the other way that you can approach cutting like this, instead of reaching awkwardly across it, is you can at a downward angle and cut into the board. So we'll do that just to show you the difference. Same thing, line the teeth up on the waist side of the line with the teeth up against the line, but totally leading the line. Remember, you got an 1/8 inch leeway here, so there's no need to push up against the line too much. Okay, to clean that up, we got our block plane here. And we'll just go over it with the block plane. Set the angle. And we'll do that on this edge. On this edge. And this edge. Alrighty, so once that's all trimmed up, you can see that our board is going to fit in that slot perfectly, leaving no room for anything. A little bit of overhang on each side should be perfect when we build the box.